بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. معكم دكتور هاني الصار، رئيس قسم صحة الأسنان في كلية الأسنان جامعة الملك عبد العزيز. تطرقنا في الفيديوهات السابقة إلى بعض الطرق لإضافة الأسئلة في نظام بلاك بورد. وردتني كثير من التساؤلات عن بعض الأسئلة، ففضلت أن أضيف بعض الفيديوهات الإضافية التي تشرح بعض هذه التساؤلات. نذهب إلى تطبيق البلاك بورد، وإن شاء الله نبدأ نتكلم عن بعض النقاط التي وردت من بعض الزملاء. طيب، أول تساؤل كان في وضع الدرجات عند عمل الاختبارات. فعند وضع الاختبارات يفضل عدم إظهار نتائج الاختبارات حتى يتم تصحيح الاختبار كاملا، وحتى يتم اعتماد الدرجات في القسم. فنستطيع إخفاء الدرجات عن طريق مركز التحكم أو the grading center. الجريدنج سنتر موجود في الكورس مانجمنت. كليك على full grade center. Here you're going to find the list of all the students. Of course, I've hidden the first name and last name of the students for privacy purposes. And here you can see all the assessment in a specific column. You can see some of the columns have a symbol, a dark circle with a line through it, and that means the students cannot be able to see it. So here, if I want to hide the column of the grades for the mock 2 test, I can do that by clicking here and choosing hide from students. You can see here that there is a symbol here on top of this column. That means that students cannot be able to see the grades. Another item that I was asked during the past few days about the grade distribution. So if we go to the assessment, we have the mock test that we did last time. You can see by default the exam has 10 points for each question. So this could be fine if you want all your items to be the same, have the same weight. However, as we did last time, certain items or certain questions have multiple components. For example, here in this fill in multiple blanks, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 items. So you can increase the load on that, or increase the weight on that particular item because it has multiple components within that. You can click here, increase. For example, we have 4, so we can say that I want to make it as a 20, 5 for each question. I click on submit, and this will be automatically updated. However, if you want to change the default grade distribution for each of these items, you can do that at the question settings. If you go down all the way to the scoring, you can see the default point value. We can change it, for example, to 1 or 10 or 5, and then when you click submit, this value will be transferred to all the new questions that you make. Another item or another inquiry that I received regarding the multiple choice or the multiple answers. You can see the multiple answers. As we mentioned, this is different than the multiple choice question. Multiple choice question has only one single answer. The multiple answers, you can choose multiple answers. However, due to some technicalities, we decided to remove the multiple answer question from our list of recommendation. This is the committee for virtual learning at the school. We decided to remove it, so this kind of question is no longer recommended. This also will take me how to delete the specific questions. For example, if you want to delete this one, a multiple answer, I can click here or check this and go all the way to the top or the bottom, and I can delete this item. This is going to be a confirmation message, and then I can click on OK. We can speak briefly about the guidelines that we have included or distributed in the school. This is the guidelines for the exam that was developed by the Virtual Learning Committee. It gives you ideas or guidelines on how to create the exam, how to deploy it, the specific items and specific guidelines for each question. So we'll go all the way here. Give us some recommendation regarding the timing for each type of exam question. Also, it's supplemented by images, and also we give you some idea about each exam type of exam question and some recommendation that, inshallah, hopefully this will be useful during the following time for creation of the exam questions. Query that I received regarding the fill-in multiple blank question. So let's go to fill in multiple blanks. Let's have, for example, copy something from here. You can change this and change the font type. So, for example, if I have this stem, and instead of these three gases, I'm gonna include blanks that I want the students to fill in. Alright. And then I can allow partial print here. And let's continue. So the answer for the first one would be oxygen. And we'll want it as contains, and we'll leave the case, we'll uncheck the case sensitivity. Here we can have nitrogen, contains, and then hydrogen. Okay, and click on next. Sorry, I put to change. Instead of exact match, I need to make sure that this contains. Let's click on next. Okay, and then let's click on submit. And let's take the exam now. And we begin the test. And here from the navigation, I click on the last question. So you can see gases include, so I can have three answers. So for example, if the students click included nitrogen, then hydrogen, and lastly oxygen, which should be correct because all of these three are gases. So let's select on save and submit. Let's see the results. So the last question, you can see I got wrong on all answers, although the items are correct. The problem here is the Blackboard looks into the question and see what text did you inserted. So regardless if it's correct, but it has different order, it would not consider that because it looks it's looking for oxygen in the first blank, nitrogen in the second blank, and hydrogen in the third blank. So if they are shuffled around, although it's correct, does not matter in the answer which one would be first. However, Blackboard does not know that. So it only will give the student the grade only if oxygen is in the first blank, nitrogen in the second, and hydrogen in the third. If it's shift around or mixed, it will not give the answer. So fill in multiple blanks, you don't need to, or you can't use it for multiple blanks if you have multiple items. It's better to use it when you have a specific answer that you're looking for your student. Another item that I was asked about is inserting images. So as we mentioned in the exam, as we did in the exam, we have one hotspot picture. The picture, as you can see, is very large, so it would be difficult to utilize properly in the exam. So I'm going to show you how to adjust it. So let's first remove this image. Let's click on details, edit, sorry, to edit the question. And in the edit menu, we'll remove the image. The image should be here. So we'll say do not attach and click on next. Okay. And then we'll go to Paint. And we'll open the image in Paint. You can see the image is very large. We can change it by clicking on the resize option in Paint. Click on Pixels and keep checking the maintain aspect ratio in order for us not to change the aspect ratio of the image. So we can insert a range between 400 and 600 pixels horizontally. So let's have something in a form like, for example, 450, and click on OK. So the image is much smaller now. We can save it as a different file. Go back to Blackboard, browse my computer. In the desktop, we have Blackboard tutorials. And we have here the edited image. You can see the difference between the two images. You can open. Click on next. Then I can choose where exactly I want the hotspot to be. Something like so. And then all the way at the end and click on submit. You can see the image is much smaller and have the size that is workable, and it'll be much easier for us to work with this image. Inshallah, in the next video, I'm going to continue some of the inquiries that I received, and also I'm going to explain one more type of exam question. Thank you.